I stand before Budapesti Gazdasági Egyetem Budapest with a heart heavy as lead and a mind sharpened by the bitter taste of betrayal. I am a child of a once Soviet land, raised on literature and the hope of a bright future, and yet here I find myself caught in a web of neglect that drags my spirit into a mire of despair. From the first moment I set foot on the campus, I am struck by the distance. The buildings loom far from the bustling center of Budapest, a cold stone island that forces me to travel long hours for a promise that should be close at hand. The distance is not merely a matter of kilometer, but a symbol of the separation between the student body and the world that should nurture it. When a place is hidden far from the city, it creates isolation. It steals the time that could be spent in study or fellowship, and it makes every simple errand a chore of exhaustion. My first battle begins with the digital portal that is supposed to welcome us. I am an international first-year student, bright and eager, yet the system refuses to recognize my presence. It blocks my access, shows an error where a schedule should be, and the deadline for registration draws nearer each day. This is not a minor glitch. It is a barrier that denies me the right to enroll in courses, to plan my academic path, and to feel belonging. When the platform fails, the student is left adrift, uncertain, and forced to seek help that never arrives. I wander to the Student Service Office, a building located far from the center, hoping for salvation. The doors open onto a hall where time seems to stand still. The staff there are indifferent. They tell me they cannot help, they point me to an email address, and that email leads to silence. The promise of assistance evaporates like mist. This neglect is catastrophic because it turns a simple request into a marathon of desperation. Each unanswered query adds another layer of stress, erodes confidence, and convinces the student that the institution does not care. The phone numbers listed on the website are nothing but dead lines. I call repeatedly, hear ringing that fades into voicemail, and receive no response. The absence of a working communication channel means that urgent matters cannot be resolved, deadlines are missed, and the student is forced to navigate a maze of bureaucracy alone. Such a failure reflects poor management, insufficient staffing, and a reckless disregard for the needs of those who pay tuition. When I finally reach the office, the reception is a clash of personalities. The security guards stand at the entrance, two young men with friendly smiles ready to offer directions and a polite nod. They are the only bright spot in a sea of unhelpful clerks. In contrast, the administrative lady behind the desk is old, looks away, and speaks with a tone that suggests my concerns are an inconvenience. She dismisses my request for documents, tells me to send a text, and then ignores my presence. This rudeness is more than a personal slight. It creates an environment where the student feels unsafe, belittled, and unworthy of respect. It also signals a culture where authority is exercised with contempt rather than service. The academic side is no less troubling. Professors and advisors, whose duty is to guide and inspire, display a hostility toward students of Arab and Muslim background. In Arabic, I read the words that speak of open racism, of teachers treating us with disdain, of a feeling that we do not belong. This discrimination is a poison that infects the learning atmosphere. It undermines the principle of equal opportunity, and it drives away talented individuals who might otherwise enrich the university. When a student is made to feel alienated because of faith, the institution betrays its own stated values of diversity and inclusion. The curriculum itself becomes a maze of confusion. Notifications fail to arrive, deadlines appear at the last minute, and the schedule is hidden unless one stumbles up on it accidentally. I learned that some courses may not be offered in the following year, yet the university does not inform us, leaving us to plan a course load that becomes impossible to complete. The result is a cascade of stress. We are forced to take an impossible number of credits, we cannot study abroad as we had hoped, and we are punished for the system's lack of transparency. The poor flow of information is a failure of communication that wrecks academic progress and mental health. Even the physical campus bears the marks of neglect. The buildings are outdated, the corridors echo with the sighs of disrepair, and the overall atmosphere feels dreary. A campus that appears neglected sends a message that the institution does not invest in the comfort or motivation of its scholars. When the environment is cold and uninviting, students lose the joy of learning, their morale declines, and they become disengaged. All these failures combine into a single, crushing weight. the distance from the city isolates.
I am looking into crimes near Budapesti Gazdasági Egyetem Budapest, and I feel like the streets around the campus have a strange shadow for tourists. Businesses near Budapesti Gazdasági Egyetem Budapest are often small souvenir shops that look bright and friendly, but they sometimes hide hidden fees. One shop on a side street offered a cheap leather bag to a visitor, saying the price included tax. The traveller paid the amount, gave the receipt, and later discovered the bag was a cheap copy, and the receipt showed an extra charge that was never explained. The victim probably tried to speak with the shop owner, was brushed off, and left feeling cheated. They likely reported the incident to the local tourist office, but the owner probably disappeared overnight or changed the shop name, leaving the tourist with a useless bag and a dent in the travel budget. Another example is a popular candy store near Budapesti Gazdasági Egyetem Budapest that sells Hungarian sweets. The shop claimed a special discount for foreign visitors and asked for a credit card to apply the discount. After the card was swiped, the amount charged was far higher than advertised, and the receipt listed hidden service fees. The tourist most likely noticed the error after leaving the store, called the bank to dispute the charge, and felt very uneasy about using cards in the area. The store manager probably tried to argue that the fees were legal, but the bank likely investigated, and the manager may have faced a fine or temporary closure. A third case involved a small electronics kiosk close to Budapesti Gazdasági Egyetem, Budapest, that sold cheap phone chargers. The vendor told a traveller that the charger was brand new and offered a guarantee. The buyer paid cash, took the charger home, and discovered it was a counterfeit that stopped working within 2 days. The victim probably tried to return it, was told the guarantee did not cover defects, and felt frustrated. The vendor may have quietly stopped selling to tourists or moved the stall to a new location to avoid complaints. Do you think these stories make you more careful when you walk past Budapesti Gazdasági Egyetem Budapest? You know it is sad that such tricks exist, but at least we can see the pattern and try to avoid them.
In the shadow of the Budapesti Gazdasági Egyetem Budapest, a tale of business practices unfolds that is as intricate as the city's own history. Here, the cobblestone streets whisper stories of customer experiences, painting a picture that is, at times, as unsettling as it is enlightening. Let us first set the stage in the heart of the city, where the Corvin Plaza shopping mall stands, a monument to commerce that, regrettably, seems to have forgotten the essence of hospitality. Imagine, if you will, a place where the most basic of human needs, the use of a restroom, is not a right but a commodity. It is a place where the coins jingling in your pocket might just be your ticket to relief, and even then, you might find the facilities lacking in both cleanliness and modern convenience. One can't help but wonder, as you clench both your fists and other parts, whether this is a mere oversight or a deliberate ploy to line the pockets of those who would monetize nature's call. As the sun sets and the city's glow softens, we find ourselves in the tranquil embrace of the Mandala Day Spa Budapest. Here, one might seek solace in the promise of relaxation, only to encounter a different kind of steam, the kind that rises from indiscretions in public spaces. It is a place where the serenity of a spa day is shattered by the audacity of inappropriate behavior, overlooked by a staff whose response to such transgressions is as tepid as the water in an unserviced jacuzzi. The atmosphere of tranquility is further marred by the labyrinthine complexities of pricing and refunds, a maze in which one might lose not just their money, but their patience as well. Now, let us speak of a culinary experience gone awry at the Indian palate. This Indian restaurant, a beacon for those craving the rich flavors of the subcontinent, falls short in delivering the authenticity one might expect. Instead, patrons are served a dish of disenchantment, with raw chicken and overpriced mediocrity. It is a place where the spice of life is overshadowed by the bitter aftertaste of poor service and questionable food safety practices. As we stroll through the bustling streets, we come upon 9 Bar, a cafe that promises the warmth of a freshly brewed cup of coffee. Yet, the experience is as cold as the shoulder turned to a customer in need. Here, the art of coffee is lost in a sea of misunderstandings and hidden charges, leaving a lingering bitterness that not even the sweetest pastry can remedy. In the world of art and design, the rhododendron art design shop beckons with the promise of unique treasures. However, the quest for beauty is often met with closed doors, and the echo of a staff member's hurried footsteps as they slip away for a break, leaving would-be customers in the lurch. It is a place where the pursuit of artistic expression is overshadowed by the rudeness of its guardians. Finally, we find ourselves at the Boudic Bar, a place that boasts of its prestige, but delivers an experience that is as mixed as the drinks it serves. Here, the cocktails may leave you yearning for something stronger to wash away the disappointment of poor service, and an atmosphere that feels more like a pub than the pinnacle of Budapest's nightlife. As we reflect on these establishments, a pattern emerges, a tapestry woven with threads of discontent. It is a narrative that speaks to the heart of customer experience or the lack thereof. For the traveler seeking respite in the arms of Budapest's offerings, let this be a beacon of caution. Know that even in the most highly recommended locations,